Imagine this. You open your bank account one morning and, to your surprise, you find a sum of money you never expected to see. You might think it's a mistake, but it's not. It is the answer to your prayers, a financial blessing sent directly from God. We live in difficult times, where economic uncertainty has sown fear and despair in the hearts of many. Maybe you feel trapped, drowning in debt, desperately searching for a way out. But today, this message comes to you as a ray of light in the midst of darkness. God has a plan for you, a plan of prosperity unlike anything you've ever seen before. But here's the thing, not everyone will have the opportunity to experience this blessing. This message is intended only for those who are willing to act with faith and speed. The doors of abundance are about to open, but only those who act right now will be the ones to receive this unexpected blessing. Are you one of them? This is not a common message. It is an exclusive invitation to receive a divine blessing that can change your life forever. However, time is limited. God is moving His hand at this very moment, but the opportunity to receive this financial blessing will not be available forever. If you feel in your heart that this message is for you, do not hesitate. Act now, before it is too late. Scarcity and uncertainty will no longer have power over you if you decide to believe and trust in God's promise. The financial blessing you have longed for is just one step away, but it requires you to take that step with faith. Are you ready to open the doors to abundance? The opportunity is unique, and the clock is ticking. Don't let this blessing slip away. God has prepared something extraordinary for you, but you will only receive it if you decide to act now. When facing difficulties, we forget that there are divine promises that guarantee abundance in our lives. God, in His infinite wisdom, assures us that those who maintain their faith can expect financial miracles and blessings. Imagine a farmer who sows his seeds with confidence, knowing that the harvest will come at the right time. In the same way, those who place their faith in God will reap abundance in due time. It is natural to feel anxious when money seems scarce, but we must remember the sacred words that promise prosperity to those who trust. The scriptures are clear. Those who remain steadfast in faith will see the promises of joy, peace, and abundance materialize. Think of how the sun rises every day, even after the darkest night. Likewise, God's promises are fulfilled, bringing light and blessings in times of need. Divine promises are not empty words. They are firm commitments that God has made with His children. He does not just promise to supply our basic needs, but also to bring prosperity in all areas of our lives. Many have witnessed financial miracles by maintaining their unwavering faith, trusting in God's plan. Like a good father who cares for his children, He does not fail to fulfill what He has promised. When we look at life, it is easy to be carried away by worries, but it is important to keep our focus on the blessings that are to come. Just as a farmer needs to trust that the rain will come to nourish his plants, we too must trust in God's promises. He has already prepared a future full of financial blessings for those who remain faithful, even in moments of doubt. There is one promise that stands out above all: God will supply all our needs according to His riches in glory. This promise is not limited to material needs but extends to peace, joy, and prosperity in all areas. Imagine waking up every day knowing that there is a financial miracle reserved for you, the fruit of faithfulness to these divine promises. Abundance is not a distant concept but a promised reality for those who trust in God. He has already prepared a table full of blessings, waiting for you to approach with faith. Like a river that never dries up, God's financial blessings flow continuously, ready to transform your life. The key is to believe and wait patiently, knowing that He keeps His promises. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to prosper even in the most difficult situations? Often, it is because they cling firmly to God's promises, believing in His provision. They know that even in the midst of storms, there is a God who has already prepared the rainbow of blessings that awaits them. In the same way, you too can experience that abundance by trusting in the divine word. It is important to remember that God's promises do not fail. Just as the sun never fails to rise each morning, the promises of abundance and prosperity are guaranteed for those who believe. If you find yourself in a moment of need, do not despair. Keep your faith strong, and you will see how financial blessings begin to flow unexpectedly into your life. The scriptures are full of examples of people who experienced financial miracles by trusting in God's promises. Remember Abraham, who was blessed with immeasurable wealth because of his unwavering faith. Just like him, you too can live those blessings by holding on to the divine promises. The secret is to believe that those promises are for you, here and now. Faith is the currency with which we purchase God's blessings. It is not just about believing but about trusting completely, knowing that He is faithful to fulfill what He has promised. If you want to experience a financial miracle in your life, start by strengthening your faith in the divine promises. Like a farmer who trusts in the harvest, you will see abundant fruits in all areas of your life. God is a loving Father who rejoices in seeing His children prosper. He does not want us to live in scarcity, but to experience abundance in all areas. Every promise He has made is a reminder of His commitment to our well-being. When we embrace these promises, we open the doors to financial miracles and blessings that will transform our reality. God's promises are like seeds planted in our lives. When watered with faith, they grow and produce fruits of prosperity. If you have sown faith along your journey, prepare to reap an abundant harvest of financial miracles. Like a patient gardener, keep believing and watering those promises, and you will see them flourish. Do not let temporary difficulties make you doubt God's promises. He is faithful to fulfill each one, bringing peace and prosperity to your life. If you are facing financial challenges, remember that there is a financial blessing reserved for you, waiting to manifest at the right time. Keep believing, because your harvest is on its way. God does not make promises in vain. Each of His words is loaded with power and destined to be fulfilled. When He promises abundance, He is speaking of prosperity that goes beyond the material. The financial blessings He has for you are just the beginning of a life full of joy and peace. Therefore, keep your faith strong, knowing that the best is yet to come. Abundance is the destiny of those who trust in God's promises. It is important to remember that God's promises require our cooperation. He has already prepared the blessings, but it is up to us to act with faith and perseverance. If you are waiting for a financial miracle, do not sit idly by. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep acting according to the faith you have. God's promises do not fail, and you will see their manifestation in your life. Never forget that God's promises are eternal. They transcend time and circumstances, guaranteeing that even when everything seems lost, there is a divine plan of prosperity reserved for you. Stand firm, confident, and know that the financial blessings you have been waiting for are already on their way, prepared by God Himself. In life, we all face challenges that test our strength. The key is not to avoid difficulties, but to learn to overcome them with courage and determination. God calls us to be strong and resilient, reminding us that His power is perfected in our weakness. No matter how great the storm, with faith and trust in His promise, we can rise and move forward, knowing that there is a financial miracle waiting for us at the end of the road. Resilience is the ability to rise after every fall. It is understanding that the trials we face are opportunities to strengthen our faith and depend even more on God. He never promised a path without obstacles, but He did promise to be with us every step of the way. When we face adversity, we can be sure that God has already prepared financial blessings and a future full of abundance for those who do not give up. Being resilient does not mean ignoring pain or frustration, but having the conviction that every trial has a purpose. Throughout history, we have seen how God uses our weaknesses to show His power. In times of financial crisis, instead of despairing, we must remember that God is the owner of everything and that His promise of provision remains valid. By trusting in Him, we find the strength to move forward. Strength comes from understanding that we are not alone in our battles. God walks by our side, guiding and strengthening our spirit. When money is scarce or debts increase, it is easy to fall into despair. But God reminds us that His grace is sufficient and that He will provide for our needs. Remaining strong in faith allows us to see how financial blessings manifest in unexpected ways. In the midst of trials, we can find comfort in God's promises. He not only gives us the strength to face difficulties, but also the certainty that every challenge is temporary. Sometimes, victory does not come immediately, but with patience and perseverance, we see how God's promises are fulfilled. The financial blessings we long for are on their way, and our strength is the key to receiving them. Resilience is also built through gratitude. When we are thankful for what we have, even in times of scarcity, we open the door to more blessings. It is easy to fall into the trap of complaining, but God calls us to focus on His promises. He knows what we need before we ask and is more than willing to provide. The key is to remain strong, trusting that His provision is always timely. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to grow in strength. God does not allow us to go through trials without purpose. He molds us through our struggles, preparing us to receive His blessings. If you are facing financial difficulties, remember that God has already prepared a financial miracle for you. Your resilience will allow you not only to survive the trials, but to thrive in the midst of them. True strength is not measured by the absence of fear, but by our ability to act despite it. God gives us the courage to face the unknown, knowing that He is in control. When money runs out or plans fail, it is easy to succumb to fear. However, God calls us to be brave, reminding us that He is our source of provision and that His plan for us includes abundance and financial blessings. In the midst of the storm, we must remember that God is our firm rock. He does not allow us to face trials beyond what we can bear. Every difficulty is an opportunity to depend more on Him and see His hand working in our lives. If we trust in His plan and remain strong, we will see how His provision and financial blessings reach us at the right moment. Resilience also means adapting to circumstances, knowing that God is in control. Sometimes, His provision comes in unexpected ways, but always on time. We must be willing to change direction if necessary, trusting that God will guide our steps toward abundance. He is faithful, and His promises of prosperity and financial blessings never fail. Hope is the anchor of the soul, and trusting in God is what keeps us steady when circumstances try to tear us down. In life, it is easy to lose hope when facing financial challenges, but God reminds us that there is always a greater plan at work. Even when things do not go as expected, we can be sure that financial blessings are on their way if we keep our faith intact and our hope alive. Trusting in God means letting go of our worries and trusting that He is in control. We know that we do not always understand His plan, but we can be sure that His ways are perfect. Throughout the Scriptures, God encourages us to trust in Him, assuring us that His plan for us includes prosperity and blessings. When our finances seem to be falling apart, it is the time to renew our trust in His provision. Hope allows us to see beyond our current circumstances and visualize the future that God has promised. The wait is long and difficult, but every moment of waiting is an opportunity to strengthen our faith. Trusting that God fulfills His promises gives us the peace we need to continue. Financial blessings may not come immediately, but they are guaranteed for those who wait with hope. In moments of hopelessness, remembering God's promises can renew our confidence. He assures us that He will never leave us nor forsake us, and that His provision is always timely. When finances fail or resources run out, it is easy to doubt, but trust in God allows us to see beyond the chaos. We know that a financial miracle is waiting to manifest at the right moment. Trusting in God does not mean that we will not face difficulties, but that, despite them, we keep our faith in His provision. Hope is that light that guides us through dark times, reminding us that God is faithful. When money is scarce and debts pile up, it is easy to lose hope, but God calls us to keep our trust in Him. Financial blessings will come to those who trust without reservation. True trust in God is demonstrated in moments of uncertainty. It is easy to trust when everything is going well, but it is in difficult times that our faith is tested. If we keep our hope in His promise, we will see how, despite the obstacles, God provides in surprising ways. The financial blessings we long for are on their way if we trust in His perfect timing. Hope and trust in God allow us to see opportunities where others see problems. When facing financial difficulties, instead of despairing, we can seek the solutions that God has already prepared for us. He promises to open doors that no one can close and to provide beyond what we ask or imagine. Our task is to trust and keep hope alive, knowing that financial blessings will manifest. The enemy will try to steal our hope and trust by sowing doubts in our hearts. But God reminds us that His plan is good and perfect. He has promised to prosper us and not to harm us, to give us a future full of hope. If we keep our eyes on His promises and trust in His plan, we will see how financial blessings materialize, even in the midst of difficulties. Trusting in God also means acting in faith, knowing that He backs our steps. Hope gives us the courage to move forward, even when we do not see the immediate result. God does not ask us to understand everything, but to trust in His direction. By taking each step in faith, we come closer to the financial blessings He has prepared for us. Hope and trust in God allow us to rest in His promise, knowing that He has everything under control. Although our finances may seem out of our reach, they are completely under His care. We do not need to worry about tomorrow because we know that God has already prepared a path of prosperity. Our task is to trust and wait with hope, knowing that financial blessings are assured. God never fails to fulfill His promises, and this is what fuels our hope. He has promised to supply all our needs according to His riches in glory, and we can trust that His provision never arrives late. Although we face challenges, our trust in God allows us to move forward with the certainty that financial blessings will manifest at the right time. Hope is that spark that ignites our faith, allowing us to keep trusting in God despite difficulties. Sometimes, life takes us on unexpected paths, but we can be sure that God always has a purpose. Trusting in His plan gives us the peace we need to face any financial challenge. The blessings He has promised will not fail, and our hope allows us to wait with confidence. Trusting in God frees us from the burden of worry. We know that, no matter what happens, He has a plan to prosper us. Although the path is not always easy, we can be sure that God is with us every step of the way. His promise of financial blessings is guaranteed, and our trust in Him will allow us to experience His provision in a supernatural way. Hope also allows us to see beyond the temporal and focus on the eternal. God not only promises financial blessings in this life, but also treasures in heaven. Our trust in Him is not based on what we see, but on what we believe. We know that, in the end, His plan for us is good and perfect, and that His provision never fails. Hope and trust in God become our greatest strength. We can face any financial challenge with the certainty that God is by our side. He has promised to walk with us through the waters and protect us from the fire. Trusting in His promises gives us the assurance that, in the end, the financial blessings we hope for will manifest. Trusting in God allows us to live with a peace that the world cannot understand. We know that, even if everything around us seems to be falling apart, we are safe in His hands. God has promised to bless us, and our hope in His word allows us to rest in His plan. Financial blessings will not be long in coming, and our trust in Him will allow us to receive them with gratitude. Hope and trust in God drive us to move forward, even when everything seems lost. We know that God is faithful and that His promises are true. Even when we face moments of scarcity, we can be sure that financial blessings are on the way. Our task is to keep hope alive and continue trusting in His provision. Trusting in God means placing our plans in His hands, knowing that His way is better than ours. God's love is the foundation of our faith, and His guidance is the light that leads us to prosperity. From the beginning, He has loved us with an eternal love, a love that has no end or conditions. This love is manifested in His desire to guide us toward a path of blessings and abundance. As we follow His direction, we can be sure that His plan for us includes financial miracles and a life full of blessings. God not only loves us, but also delights in guiding us. He is like a good shepherd who cares for his sheep, leading them to green pastures and still waters. In His love, He guides us in paths of righteousness and protects us from all harm. If we trust in His guidance, we will not only find peace and security, but also the financial blessings that He has promised to His faithful children. God's love is unconditional and constant. No matter how many times we fail, His love is always there to lift us up and guide us back to the right path. Sometimes we stray, seeking solutions on our own, but it is in those moments that we need to remember that His guidance is perfect. By following His direction, we experience not only His love, but also His provision, which includes financial blessings. God's guidance is a reflection of His eternal love. He knows every one of our steps and has prepared a path full of blessings for us. Although we do not always understand His direction, we can be sure that He is leading us on the best path. Trusting in His guidance assures us that the financial blessings we so desperately need will manifest at the right time. God's love is not only manifested in words, but also in actions. He guides us every day, providing for our needs and opening doors of blessing. When we follow His direction, we see how His love becomes tangible provision. The financial blessings we long for are an expression of that love. A reminder that God takes care of us in every detail. Throughout our lives, God has demonstrated His love and faithfulness. He never abandons us or leaves us adrift. His guidance is constant, leading us on the path that leads to prosperity. Even in times of uncertainty, we can trust that His love sustains us and His direction leads us to the financial blessings He has prepared for us. God's love is the guarantee that we will never walk alone. His Holy Spirit guides us and gives us the wisdom to make decisions that bring us closer to His will. When we find ourselves in difficult situations, it is His love that drives us to move forward. By trusting in His guidance, we discover that the financial blessings we seek are closer than we imagine. God is a loving Father who delights in blessing His children. His eternal love is reflected in every detail of our lives, from small joys to great provisions. He guides us with patience and compassion, ensuring that we lack nothing. The financial blessings we receive are proof of His constant love, a display of His care and provision. In moments of uncertainty, God's love is our refuge and His guidance, our map. He knows what is best for us and directs us along paths that lead to abundance. Sometimes those paths are not the ones we would have chosen, but we can trust that His direction will always take us where we need to be. The financial blessings we desire are guaranteed if we follow His guidance with faith and obedience. God's guidance is not always clear from the start, but it is always safe. His love assures us that He will not lead us down a path of destruction but of prosperity. As we trust in His guidance, we see how His love manifests in every aspect of our lives, including our financial situation. The financial blessings we long for are part of the plan He has laid out for us. God's love is the reason we can fully trust His guidance. He does not lead us whimsically, but out of love. His desire is for us to prosper and live in abundance, and His guidance is the tool He uses to lead us to that full life. If we follow His direction in faith, we will see how His love leads us to the financial blessings we so desire. God's guidance is a gift of His love. It shows us the right way, even when we are surrounded by darkness. In moments of despair, His love reminds us that we are not alone and that His guidance will lead us to victory. The financial blessings we hope for are only a part of the abundance He has planned for us. Our job is to trust His love and follow His guidance faithfully. God loves us so much that He will never let us go astray. Even when we stray, His love draws us back, and His guidance leads us back on track. No matter how far we have gone, His love is able to reach us, and His direction is able to take us to a place of blessing. Financial blessings are available to those who return to His love and follow His guidance with humility and trust. God's love is perfect, and His guidance is infallible. He does not make mistakes or leave anything to chance. Every step we take under His direction is designed to bring us closer to His will. Sometimes the route may seem uncertain, but God's love assures us that we are on the right path. Financial blessings are just one of the many ways His love is manifested in our lives. Trusting in God's guidance is an expression of our faith in His love. We know that He always has the best for us and that His direction will lead us where we need to be. As we walk the path He has laid out, we can be sure that His love will accompany us every step of the way. The financial blessings we desire are the natural result of following His guidance with a heart full of faith. Now that you have received this powerful message, the question is, what are you going to do with it? God has shown you the way to abundance, but it is your decision to take action. The world is full of people who dream of a better future, but only those who act with faith manage to achieve it. Will you be one of them? Reflect for a moment. What are you willing to change today to receive the financial blessing that God has prepared for you? Life presents you with a unique opportunity, an opportunity that will not repeat itself. This is the moment to leave behind doubt, fear, and scarcity. It is time to take a step toward faith and total trust in God's promises. Remember, action is the key to transforming your reality. Do not let indecision keep you stuck. It is time to move forward with courage and claim what is yours by divine right. If this message resonated in your heart, if you feel that God is calling you to take a step of faith, I invite you to take action right now. Subscribe to this channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any content that will help you continue growing in faith, wisdom, and prosperity. Here you will find more teachings that will guide you to a life of success and fulfillment, just as God has planned for you. Do not stay with just the knowledge, apply it. Ask questions, interact in the comments, and share your thoughts. This is a space to grow together on the path of faith. Life is full of opportunities, and this is one of them. Don't let it pass you by. God has great things reserved for you.